She's building. She's
Not present.
You can blame those guys.
I'd like to call the Anaheim City Council meeting to order. Madam Clerk, will you please call roll?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Councilmember Bayless?
Present.
Councilmember Leon?
Present.
Councilmember Kurtz?
Present.
Councilmember Maz?
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Meeks?
Present.
Let the record show we have 5 members present.
Madam Clerk, are there any additions or deletions to the closed session agenda?
Mayor Pro Tem, there are none.
Madam Clerk, can you call forward any speakers addressing the closed session agenda?
Mayor Pro Tem, we don't have any in-person speakers, and we did not receive any electronic comments on the closed session agenda.
Okay, since there are none, we will close public comment on the closed session agenda, and we will recess to closed session.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the Anaheim City Council meeting to order. Clerk, can you please call roll? Oh, no, we're reconvening. Just a second. Sorry about that. So the first item on our agenda is an invocation that will be offered this evening by Pastor Kim Skilling from First Presbyterian Church of Anaheim. Following that, we are going to have Councilmember Leon to lead us in our flag salute. Can you all please stand?
As we gather, we are told by all kinds of studies these days of the importance of breathing. That 3 deep, intentional breaths help us reset our minds, lower stress, help focus. So as the meeting begins, I would invite you to join me right now in taking 3 breaths, in through your nose, slowly out through your mouth. God of breath and life and wisdom, be with all gathered here as this meeting begins. As we breathe in, we invite you to fill us with your presence and guidance. As we breathe out, we offer ourselves in compassionate and wise service to you and our city. Help us to be attentive to you in this moment and in all decisions made this night. Amen.
Place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the
The flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I can't breathe.
I think you have a press guy taking your picture back there. Gonna put it in the.
Good evening, everyone. I have the pleasure of honoring Code Enforcement Appreciation Week. So in Anaheim, we are strong believers in our neighborhoods, our safe communities, and the people that make that happen every day. Tonight, we want to recognize a group of dedicated individuals who often work behind the scenes but play an absolutely incomparable and vital role in our city's quality of life. Our code enforcement officers. Code Enforcement Officer Appreciation Week is a time to say thank you to the men and women who keep our neighborhoods safe, healthy, and livable. Whether it's building safety, zoning, housing, environmental concerns, or the quality of life issues in our neighborhoods, our code enforcement team helps protect the health, safety, and the well-being of our residents. These officers are out and about in our neighborhoods every day, responding to our concerns, working with property owners, and helping to keep Anaheim a place where we're all proud to call it home. And it's not always easy work, but it is absolutely essential. It's done with dedication, care, and trust, and with true spirit of public service. To our code enforcement team, thank you for being here, and thank you so much for what you do. Your work supports safe housing, fair standards, and thriving neighborhoods all across Anaheim. We are so proud to recognize our code enforcement officers this week and every week. And thank you for being an important part of our city. If you guys could please come up and join council, we would love to recognize you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the work you do.
Hardest job in the city.
We probably will have to do 2 rows, so if you're taller, you have to move that.
Thank you. And Mayor asked that I say a few words. So I'm Heather Allen. I'm the director of the Planning and Building Department. Planning and Building is kind of the short name for all the things that we do. So it's the proud home of code enforcement. Wanted to also introduce to the public and to the council Mark Archibald, who's the new manager for the division. He joins us about 3 weeks into the job, so you'll be seeing much more of him. Been proud to step in and lead this team for about 9 months while we were searching for a manager, but very happy to have Mark here. And I think it's a great addition to the strong team that's already here. So thank you.
Welcome, Mark.
Squeeze in as much as you can.
Actually, I have everyone. All right, everyone, big smiles over here. 1, 2, 3. Sorry about the flash.
We'll do one more over here. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you. Oh, we. I love it.
Thank you, everyone. I'd also like to welcome up, we have 2 members of our Ducks street team that are here with us tonight. So if those of you are wondering why your council is dressed like this, shame on you. It is because tonight is our home opener at the Honda Center. So we are all supporting our Ducks and wishing them a great season. So wanted to turn it over to our street team to give us some inspiration.
All right. Hey, everybody, thank you. I'm Ray with the Anaheim Ducks, and this is...
I'm Sarah.
And we just wanted to say thank you all for having us today, and we look forward to representing the city of Anaheim in this 25 to 26 season. Let's go, Ducks!
We'll have everybody look right here. Perfect. Thank you. Go Ducks.
Gotta get you the Ducks fit.
So next on our agenda are recognitions to be presented at a later date. Clerk, can you please announce them?
Thank you, Mayor. We have 3 this evening, recognizing October 5th through the 11th, 2025, as National Fire Prevention Week, recognizing October 13th, 2025, as Indigenous Peoples Day, and recognizing the month of 2025 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Now I'd like to call to order the Anaheim Housing Authority in joint session with the City Council. Clerk, do you have any additions or deletions to tonight's agendas?
Mayor, there are none.
Can you please outline the public comment procedures and call forward the first several speakers to address our agenda?
Thank you, Mayor. Speakers have one opportunity to address the City Council. This public comment period is 90 minutes or until all agenda item speakers have been heard. Any time remaining of the 90 minutes will be provided to speakers who wish to speak on any non-agenda related items, but within the council's jurisdiction. A second public comment period will be opened by the mayor only if any non-agenda item speakers were not heard during the first public comment period, and it'll be open at the end of council business. The time limit for public comment is 3 minutes per speaker. Those wishing to address the City Council must complete a speaker card, which are available in the back of the council chambers. And if you do have a card, we do have a public comment card box here, so just please deposit in that box and we'll call your name forward during the public comment period. The name and contact information requested on the speaker card is optional. Any unidentified speakers will be called by the speaker card number. At this time, on behalf of the City Council, I would also like to announce that we also have Spanish interpreting services that are provided at every City Council meeting. Simultaneous Spanish interpretation is provided through the use of headsets, and consecutive interpretation is available to anyone who would like to address the City Council. For translation services in other languages, we ask that you please contact the City Clerk's office at least 48 hours prior to the scheduled meeting. At this time, I would like to introduce our interpreter who will make the same announcement in Spanish.
Buenas tardes. Se proporcionan servicios de interpretación al español a todas las reuniones del Consejo Municipal. Se proporciona interpretación simultánea al español a través del uso de audífonos y la interpretación consecutiva está disponible para cualquier persona que desee dirigirse al Consejo Municipal. Para servicios de traducción en otros idiomas, comuníquese con la oficina del secretario municipal al menos 48 horas antes de la reunión programada.
We would like to remind the public that Anaheim remains committed to freedom of speech. We ask that speakers address the City Council with civility and refrain from making personal, threatening, abusive, slanderous, or profane remarks towards any member of the council, staff, or general public. We appreciate you reflecting this spirit when you speak. The time now is 5:15, with the 90-minute public comment period set to conclude at 6:45, or until all agenda item speakers have been heard. We do ask that speakers line up at the podium once they see their name appear on the projection screen behind me. And just as a reminder, if you do fill a public speaker card, if you can please bring it forward and leave it in the box that's right to in front of the council chambers. And if we can go ahead and have the first speakers come forward. We have one speaker on one agenda item, R. Joshua Collins, addressing the council on item number 4.
Good afternoon, Council. My name is R. Joshua Collins, founder of Homeless Advocates for Christ. I want to encourage everyone to give the life to Jesus Christ, who died for us on the cross to save us from hell, to give us everlasting life. We've all sinned. We all need a Savior, and only Jesus can give us that salvation by his shed blood on the cross, by his grace. I also want to talk about the homeless issue. Of course, it's still there. I'm calling on the council to put on the agenda, at the very least, a discussion regarding code changes that would make it easier to house the homeless at churches and other locations, as well as putting on the agenda the possibility of expanding current shelters or building a new shelter for seniors, the disabled, other residents who very much want off the street, but are given no place to go from CityNet. The average studio rent cost is nearly $2,000 monthly, while average Social Security income hovers around $1,700, making secure housing increasingly unattainable for our most vulnerable. I'm calling on the council to make kindness, housing, and shelter, not subsidies for corporations, a top priority. Imagine if it was your elderly or disabled family member living in these streets tonight. As Jesus says, we should love our neighbors as ourselves. And it's a shame for a city like Anaheim to still have so many homeless and 30,000 households on the waiting list for Section 8 vouchers, and over 4,000 waiting specifically for affordable housing options. It's also a great shame that very recently on Saturday, October 11th, I was told no beds were available by CityNet. And CityNet also said they are finding many more seniors on the street. We are one of the most visited cities in the world. We host Disneyland, Angels Stadium, the Honda Center, billions of dollars flowing through our economy every year. Yet while tourists enjoy luxury, hotels, and entertainment, our own neighbors are sleeping on sidewalks, in parks, and in the cars that they have. This is a very serious moral problem. In the presence of so many unhoused people in our community, especially seniors, is a visible reminder that Anaheim has not lived up to its espoused values of kindness, compassion, and justice. With better priorities and a better stewardship of taxpayer dollars, we would not be in this situation. State auditors have shown that Anaheim wasted millions of taxpayer dollars on mismanaged contracts, political favors, and subsidies for corporations. That money could have been used to build affordable housing, expanded current shelters, and add more shelters, and could have funded mental health and addiction treatment services as well. Instead, it was misused, and the cost of homelessness continues to grow in our emergency rooms, and our police response costs, and the erosion of trust between our residents and their government. So once again, I'm calling on this council to make it kindness, housing, and shelter, not subsidies for corporations, a top priority. And please do this quickly. There's a lot of people suffering. Rain's coming more and more, I'm sure, over the winter. So imagine if it was you out there. Thanks for letting me share.
Mayor and City Council, that concludes speakers on agenda items. We'll move forward to general comments. Our first speaker, Mark Richard Daniels.
Here I am. Staggers towards the microphone. Councilman Leon, this is how it's done. Anyhow, damn thing barely fits. So I just wanted to reminisce a little bit. My brother that I mentioned at last council meeting, as it's still kind of hard to grasp, that he's not there. He's been there all my life, 4 years older than I am. And then I was pleasantly surprised to find out that Councilman Rubacavra mentioned my brother in the closing council comments at the last council meeting, and I absolutely appreciate that. I am forever in your debt. We've had our differences, but God darn it, that was absolutely beautiful, and I will carry that the rest of my life, that you singled him out. And it's the idea that every day I would call him on the phone, say, what's the latest Trump thing? Because he was just, And I can't call him anymore. It's like when you lose somebody that's that close to you, you're just like, oh no, I can't call him up. I can't go over to his apartment. I can't do anything. It's just like we have to let him go. And like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. Seriously. And also, there's so much, I have to keep myself busy. I have to go out in the community. I have to make myself very much involved. I think I've done that most of my life since I really turned 18 and I went out and voted, and I've never missed an election, any election, ever since I turned 18, 1976. And also, I was a member of that Cultural and Heritage Commission that unanimously supported the changing of Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day. I was a member of that, and that's like one of the great moments in my life that I actually, in my small way, had a hand in on that. And this knucklehead in the White House is calling it Columbus Day. Well, Columbus had 500 years. Okay, get out of there. Get off the stage. And so we should always honor the fact that the people that were here that basically have been abused and neglected should be honored for the next 500 years. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker, Ruben Greg Soto.
Dear Mayor and City Council, you know a lot of my stories. I talked to Brenda, and I call her Starlight, Starbright, Starla. It was my birthday, October 8th, 69 years old, living in the streets in my car. But you know what? I don't give up. My dad was a tough man, and so am I. But anyway, I told you the official, what Trump sent me, him and Melania wishing me the best, okay, in an email. Now, she also sent me, I told you about go see local authority. He's sorry what everybody did to me, okay? Now, this is official from Trump. Happy birthday, Ruben. You're a true patriot to what I turn in about America, especially California. And now, here it is right here, official Trump. People don't like Trump, but you know what? Hate is bad for people. And when I tell people, I don't see color. I see how you treat people. I know a lot of people that are from different nations here, and they like me because I'm not prejudiced, okay? But Robert, he's African-American or African from Africa, speaks Swahili, is the only man that's taking care of me, letting me stay in this place, have a bathroom. You know, I'm like security for him, I do him favors. But you know what? A lot of it's in America is just terrible. But I don't give up. Now, let me tell you something about pink. I've been getting pink with breast cancer, wearing pink hats. People think I'm gay. I'm not gay at all. Now, Riverside has a pink breast cancer SUV police car. Now, Fullerton just recently has a pink fire truck driving around, okay? And let me play you something that somebody sent me on YouTube.
Welcome back, Warriors. Your favorite daddy-daughter duo. Anything positive you want to say to the people?
When people are being mean, walk away.
When people are being mean, walk away, man. Bye, Felicia. With that, love you. Keep pushing forward.
That's what people send me so I could play things, because mean people, they're losers and they will finish last. Nice people will win. Thank you.
Our next speaker, Matthew Duncan.
Matthew Duncan. I just wanted to report to you that Anaheim's updated Living with Coyotes recommendations were posted on the city's Facebook page last week. I'm encouraged to report the following statement was replaced. This statement read, Anaheim has a professional trapper we use throughout the year to handle situations where overpopulation or coyotes being too comfortable with people poses a high threat risk. Again, removed at least on this site, possibly not on all sites, but I think this is hopefully a good start. And then a statement has been added to the Living with Coyotes recommendations. It reads as follows. Be aware, some coyotes are used to people and may not run at first. That is very good advice when hazing coyotes, because I've experienced. They don't always just run away. They may walk away. But the important thing is they're leaving. Finally, I participated last week in the California Fish and Game Commission meeting in Sacramento and was encouraged by the agenda item seeking to clarify 465.5G3, which, as you remember, is the regulation that requires written consent from homeowners within 150 yards of coyote traps. So we may have reasons to be optimistic at both the California state level and the local level. Thank you.
Our next speaker, David Tran.
Pretty short. Good evening, council members. My name is David Tran, a homeowner in the Brisa and Palmilla community adjacent to Old Dominion Freight Line. For a year, our residents have endured excessive nighttime noise and vibration from freight operations that clearly violates the intent of conditional use permit 2299 and Anaheim's municipal noise standards. 2 weeks ago, the noise reached the worst levels I've ever experienced. Trailers slamming, docks sounding like 40-foot drums, and even measurable seismic activity. But last week, for the first time since I moved in, it was noticeably quieter. That change didn't happen by accident. I believe it happened after Councilwoman Natalie personally got involved, and we sincerely thank her for that. However, the last 2 nights have shown a gradual increase, and we're worried that situation will revert. We're simply asking for consistent permanent mitigation, not temporary relief. The community needs clear communications on what enforcement actions are being taken, what's being negotiated with Old Dominion, and whether there's a timeline for compliance. We've collected months of objective evidence, decibel readings, vibration logs, and video, and we're ready to cooperate fully with the city. We just want transparency, accountability, and a lasting solution that protects our homes and health. Thank you.
Our next speaker.
Council members and Anaheim residents, here we go again. Disneyland Resort has once more raised its ticket prices, and with every hike, the so-called happiest place on earth becomes a little more elusive, a little more elitist, and a lot more out of reach. A single ticket now costs more than a week's worth of groceries for many families. But it doesn't stop there. Parking raised, food raised, souvenirs raised, even the churros feel like luxury items. Magic, it's still there, just buried under layers of upcharges and corporate greed. And while Disney squeezes every last dollar from its guests, it has the audacity to oppose a modest gate tax, proposed by the residents of Anaheim, a tax that would help fund our infrastructure, public safety, and housing. They claim it would hurt tourism, as if a $5 tax on a $179 ticket is the deal breaker, not the $179 ticket itself. This is about protecting guests. It's about protecting profits. And here's the harsh truth. Disney always wins, the residents always lose. The city bends over backwards to accommodate the resort, waiving taxes, rerouting traffic, tolerating environmental harm, while families struggle to afford a single day of magic. Disney gets the glory, Anaheim gets the bill. Yes, Disney may donate to a local cause or send Mickey Mouse to wave at a ribbon cutting, but let's compare that to the billions in profits and the staggering subsidies they receive. If residents saw an independent valuation of what Disney takes versus what Disney gives, they'd be shocked. The imbalance is not just unfair, it is unsustainable. And it's made worse by the crippling debt Anaheim is in, and much of it is tied to sweetheart deals and decades of corporate giveaways. So we must ask, how do they get away with this? The answer is simple: pay-to-play politics. Disney pours millions into lobbying, campaign donations, and backroom influence to ensure every vote, every ordinance, every regulation tilts in their favor. They don't just sell magic, they buy silence, compliance, and protection. It's time to say yes on a gate tax, no on any new Disney subsidies, investigate the pay-to-play politics between Disney and the city of Anaheim, and most importantly, return Anaheim to its residents. Disneyland may be a symbol of joy, of unity, of wonder. Now it's a fortress of exclusivity guarded by price hikes, corporate lobbying, environmental negligence, and political favoritism. If Disney truly believes in magic, it's time they stop hoarding it and start sharing it with the people who make it possible. Thank you.
Our next speaker.
Happy Indigenous Peoples Day, Council. One day late. Last month, we were contacted, that's Tenants United Anaheim, we were contacted by the tenants of a pair of apartment buildings in District 2. The buildings had been sold to a new owner, and the new owner was jacking up rents way over 10%, as much as $800 a month, and demanding new rental contracts as well as first and last month rents or face eviction. First, none of this is legal, and we have no idea how often this kind of thing happens in Anaheim. We just know when people contact us, and we try to help if we can. Second, none of this is legal, even under California's weak-ass Tenant Protection Act, but who cares? Because a big aspect of that law's weak-assedness is that it is not enforced. There's no enforcement mechanism. It's left up to the cities and counties to enforce it, and Anaheim does not. Supposedly last year, one of you was looking into fixing that, but nothing ever came of it. In Anaheim, there's no rent board, not like in Santa Ana. Apparently, we can't afford it. So it's up to a tenant to get an attorney and fight for their rights themselves if they can afford it. And a lot of Anaheim residents right now don't feel comfortable fighting back or drawing any attention to themselves due to Donald Trump's reign of terror against immigrants. We at Tenants United Anaheim are not attorneys and we're not lawmakers like you guys are. So we try to let the tenants know what their rights are and hook them up with attorneys if they want. A few of them did do that. We also took some of them to a District 2 meeting where they met their councilman, Carlos Leon. And we appreciate Carlos taking the time to talk to them and hooking them up with some housing people on city staff. But we're still not sure what they've done to help. Maybe Carlos can tell us during council communications. If the past is any guide, they may have told the tenants to contact the way overworked and understaffed Public Law Center, or they may have offered to negotiate with a landlord and buy a little more time or a little moving money. Generally, the tenants, if they're lucky, are treated like poor victims who need a hand rather than people with rights. If we had a rental board like Santa Ana does, the city could tell the landlord, no, you can't do this, this is illegal. Well, before I run out of time, I want to invite anyone listening who's a tenant who pays rent for their place to our next meeting. Tenants United Anaheim. We're meeting Monday night, October 27th at the Untold Story bookstore just up the street here. I got flyers if somebody here wants one. Where was I? We'll be trying to get real rent control like Santa Ana has, which has worked out really well for them as it will for us. And I'll see you guys before that this Saturday at the No Kings Rally at Centennial Park in Santa Ana, 2 to 5. I'll be doing the music there. I hope you can make it, Ryan. I know you're a big patriot because I've seen how big your American flags are. That's what this nation is about, no kings. Thank you.
Our next speaker.
Vern, thank you for speaking tonight.
Hi, my name's Jennifer Geese, and I'm here to request that the city of Anaheim become sister cities with Al Khalil, also known as Hebron, in the West Bank. I spent 4 months in the West Bank this year, 3 months in spring and 1 month this summer. I was there on April 7th when a general labor strike was enacted across the West Bank to protest what was happening in Gaza. I saw how badly the economy was affected by the activities in the area, and it broke my heart. I made friends with many local people, and knowing that one of the things that sister cities do is promote each other, I decided, I thought about first which area of Los Angeles would be a smart place to ask to do this. I considered Burbank, I considered Pasadena, I considered Anaheim, and chose Anaheim as my target because Disneyland is here and there are hundreds of thousands of international tourists who would see the relationship you would build with Al Khalil every year. In addition, Little Arabia is housed here, and there are many people who have cultural roots in various parts of that part of the world, 10 time zones away and other, who would be so proud to see this relationship come into existence. Al Khalil, Hebron, is historic and a cultural touchstone to members of many faiths, Christian, Muslim, and Jewish alike. the tremendous goodwill that would be enacted and shown and displayed by this relationship is untold. On record, there is no city in the United States that is a sister city with El Khalil. Bethlehem is very close by, Jerusalem is very close by. They have dozens of sister cities all over the world. El Khalil has a very small group of sister cities. Anaheim would be an excellent choice to become sister cities with El Khalil. While I was in El Khalil in August, I actually had a meeting with someone who works for the municipality. He made time to meet me while I was there. His name is Bilal Anwar Muhtaseb. He gave me this as a gift. It's hand-painted tile, an overview of the city of El Khalil. I would be willing, more than happy, to give this to the city of Anaheim when it becomes sister cities with El Khalil. In addition to the municipality of El Khalil being extremely eager in pursuing this relationship and connection, there's a volunteer organization called Community Peacemaker Teams, which is based in Chicago, but has a Hebron branch, and everyone is on board. In addition, my local friends would be really excited to see this happen. I am an activist here in Orange County and in Los Angeles County.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, your time is up.
Thank you.
Our next speaker, if they can step forward, Ashley A.
Hi, my name is Ashley A. I'm a junior at Cal State Fullerton. I'm currently taking a political science class where I have to interview a elected government official. And I've tried emailing both my representative, Norma Campos, and our mayor, Ashley. I understand you guys are busy individuals with extremely busy schedules. I get it. So, and I haven't received a response, unfortunately, but once again, I understand you guys are busy individuals. So I'm just here to formally ask if I could possibly get an interview at whatever time you guys are available. I'm extremely flexible, and if you guys are available, I would extremely appreciate a response from y'all. And, sorry y'all. And yeah, so if you guys are available, I have emailed you guys before, and my little card has a email on it, so I would greatly appreciate it, and so would my grade. Thank you.
Mayor, may I ask a question? Excuse me, I have an appointment with a Cal State student. Is that not you?
No, that's not me.
Oh, my gosh, and maybe we got the names confused because I do have an appointment next week with someone.
Oh yeah, there's like a bunch of us that need it.
Okay, getting them confused then. We'll reach out to you.
Awesome, thank you.
Our next speaker, Mark Herbert.
Mark Herbert, AnaheimGrease.com. I'd like to continue talking about our company town here and the public and private doors. And in front of the public door, yet to make it through to you guys, is Gurley Bloomquist, who told her story last meeting. And as far as I've heard, she's still received no help from the city. Just thought you'd like the update there. I'm sure you're trying your best. And also in this public door is ATID. And I bring that up because it touches Gurley Bloomquist, because ATID has a lot of money, some of it going to be devoted to housing. There's 3 agencies that overlook ATID now. There's the ATID Advisory Board, there's the ATID Transportation Committee, and there's ATN. And I'd like to go into some detail here, hoping to clear the path for Gurley. I've been going to those meetings since July, and here are some of the things. I'll just focus on public engagement. We still lack a microphone for the public at these 3 meetings. Hard to hear when listening to the audio. were promised microphones at the advisory board meeting Thursday, but that promise has been made before. Public comments are at the front of the meeting before any of the agenda. That's fine, except these groups only meet every 3 months. A little difficult to follow up on public comments. There's no central email. I've tried to reach with questions. No central email. Not all the members have emails. Council, I've sent you my 32 questions from one of the recent meetings. Still waiting for an answer. 32 questions on public engagement. The ethics officer answered 3 questions of the 32. 32 seconds left. There's a cost to doing things these way. Let's just look at the Disney parking structure built in '98 with that bond. Of that $500 million bond, $100 million went to the parking structure with 10,000 spaces. 10,000 spaces, Disney just raised their parking to 40 per vehicle. So if you take 10,000 spaces times 300 days times $40, that's $120 million a year. The city receives nothing. And we have a housing problem. I guess we have our priorities.
Our next speaker, Brian Kay.
To Mary, please. Happy day, Mary Aiken. How are you? Thank you for the smile there. That is priceless. You know, at the last meeting, we were talking about Dee Snider. Very impressive. You do know that, well, I'm not a fan of Twisted Sister. I saw the video, and the first time I did laugh. Wow, that's funny. The second time I thought, that's a family in pain. And I understand the whole idea of it's a Bugs Bunny type cartoon. But Dee Snider was in front of the congressional hearing, and he spoke there because he was standing up for the truth, for honesty. And that's kind of what I'm impressed by. That's where I'm a fan of Dee Snider. You'll notice those are 2 of the 45s. You can show Carlos what a 45 is, what vinyl is. And you know, I spoke with Greg Audette, and he said you kind of get to do what you want. So the decisions, you know, that there's no evidence that I resisted, there's no evidence I threatened, no evidence I harassed, no evidence of any of the crimes. So kind of like, why would you want to do what you've done? And could you do anything else? Greg said the entire reason why you haven't responded to my petitions is because you don't believe me. You know, Jordan Brandman didn't believe meth would kill him. 30 victims of Anaheim police didn't think that Anaheim police would shoot and kill them while they were unarmed and asking for help. So I really don't think that's a viable legal defense for violating somebody's First Amendment right. You've paid plenty of attention to the police, and under the First Amendment, you're required to pay attention to me, required to sit down with me and discuss these issues and review the plea agreement, review the lack of evidence the city has against me, and the mountain of evidence the city has proving my innocence. You know, if you're hurt, if your feelings are hurt, if you're upset because we're in federal court, well, you know, Greg said that you were hurt, you were upset that you're in federal court. Don't do things that end up in federal court. I've been coming down here for over 10 years. You know, and I'm not just here for myself, I'm here for my whole family. My mother, my wife, my father, my in-laws, my entire family. Happy day.
Mayor and City Council, that concludes our in-person speakers. Noting for the record, we did receive 7 general comments. Those were distributed to City Council as well as posted on the city's website. That can be found at anaheim.net/public comment.
Thank you. So we're now close the public comment portion of the meeting and move to council communications. If any council members have news to share, please ring in. I'll start with Council Member Kristen Maas.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I have a few slides to share. Starting with my September 24th visit to a District 5 neighborhood, I joined the Anaheim Police Department, Neighborhood Services, the library, and numerous engaged residents at a community barbecue. It was focused on strengthening neighborhood relationships and civic trust. This gathering served as a meaningful demonstration of interdepartmental coordination and community-based engagement in action. I would like to extend my appreciation to the Anaheim Police Department for the invitation, for their sustained efforts to foster positive community relations, to our neighborhood services and library teams for consistent commitment to accessibility and to resident outreach. And I also want to recognize a couple of the organizations who were there to share their resources. Chirla was there to share about immigrant rights, and we had Neutral Ground there as well. So I just want to, again, thank everybody, and events like this reinforce the importance of collaborative and relationship-centered approaches to local governments. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Bayless.
I have a few more slides. Sorry, I'll make it
So sorry.
No problem. Last week, I attended the Anaheim Public Utilities Public Power Week celebration with students from Rio Vista's 4th grade class. I had the opportunity to join our department for an engaging and educational celebration. The program introduced students to the importance of public power and how community-owned utilities contribute to the reliability, sustainability, and accountability of the services we provide to Anaheim residents. So thank you to Duku, Melinda, and our public utilities team for their continued commitment to community engagement. 2 more slides. Last Saturday on the 11th, October 11th, I had the privilege of attending Triumph Foundation's annual Over the Line baseball tournament at Pioneer Park. It was an honor to be invited to participate on the field, which provided me the opportunity to experience the game from the perspective of athletes. I want to recognize Andrew Skinner, the foundation's founder. He's dedicated to creating inclusive recreational opportunities for individuals of all abilities. After his own spinal cord injury, Andrew was contacted by hospitals to support others facing similar challenges. I'm very proud to host this event here in Anaheim, and I would like to express my gratitude to Public Works and our parks staff for maintaining our fields so that athletes have a place to play. 1 more slide. Yesterday, we celebrated and acknowledged Indigenous Peoples Day. We started with a meaningful gathering that began at the Santa Ana River. It then brought participants to City Hall, and then we finished at the community center. This is the 6th consecutive year that the city has formally recognized Indigenous Peoples Day, and this is a reflection on our commitment to honoring the rich cultural heritage of Indigenous communities. I would like to thank, in particular, Liz Hernandez, who works out at Oak Canyon Nature Center. She has been a part of these efforts since the beginning, and she was recognized at the ceremony. So thank you to Liz and all of our city staff who takes part in this. And last, I want to mention, tomorrow evening is our District 5 meeting. We'll be at Catella High School from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. We invite you to come out to share your concerns and to learn about city departments. That's all I have.
Thank you. Sorry to cut you off. I apologize. Councilmember Bayless and then Mayor Pro Tem Meeks.
Thank you. I'll make this quick. Saturday night, we had a we had a car run into a power pole, had a bit of a power outage on the west side. I just want to say thank you to police and fire both who responded, but more importantly, thank you to Dooku, Randy, his team for getting the power back on in a timely fashion and changing out the pole. Anyways, very good job. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. Last Saturday, we had a fire prevention fair, and many families came out to celebrate that and learn how they could protect their homes and what the city's doing to protect them. So thank you for all the departments that were out there, fire, public works, utilities, community services. Everybody pulled together, and it was a really successful event. I would like staff to maybe look at a fire prevention task force or something with those departments that could meet maybe every other month or quarterly or something, and just make sure that we're addressing kind of some odd areas of vegetation and things that might be not on private property, not necessarily in the right of way. There's just some things that Adrian Abel in our fire department, would like a little cohesive help, and I think that it's an important effort, and maybe even look at, once we get the fire thing done, then, maybe we look at earthquakes, because we haven't had a big disaster here in a long time, thank goodness, knock on wood, but we need to be prepared. It will happen at some point. And then Thursday is the District 6 meeting out at the East Anaheim Community Center, so please come out and visit with all of us. We have a lot of information out there to share also. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Leon and Councilmember Rubalcaba.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I want to start off by saying that a bet is a bet, and that is why I'm wearing an Anaheim High School jersey here today. Congratulations to the Anaheim High School football team on their win over Magnolia. I am repping the shirt. But congratulations in all seriousness, and we still, all agenda is bringing the football team in for some recognitions, and I still owe them pizza, so there's still more steps to the bed. But thank you to my colleague for providing this jersey that I get to wear today. I do want to, I know there's some comments about some District 2 properties or building that was recently sold to a new owner. And so our ACD team is trying to work with as many residents as we possibly can to try to assist them and get them resources and information. And so if you know of anybody that lives in that area, if you know of someone that's going through this, to have them please reach out to our HCD team or have them reach out to our office. We're happy to help and connect as much as possible. So please make sure if you know of anybody, know that we're trying to help and do as much as we possibly can. The last two things, reminder that our community open house is going to be next week on the 22nd over at Magnolia High School in the new cybersecurity building. So we're looking forward to seeing everybody there anytime from 5 to 7. Feel free to stop in. And our trunk or treat will take place, our third annual trunk or treat will be on October 30th at Key Elementary, just off of Ball Road from 6 to 8. So we're looking forward to seeing you there. And go Sentinels, go Colonists.
Thank you, Mayor Aiken. I do have a few slides to share, I believe, Madam Clerk. Yes. Wow. So as everybody knows, I have the great honor of representing District 3, which is where City Hall is located. It's the heart of our city. We have about 50,000 residents who reside, 27,000 voters. And a lot of activity. So there are just some things I'd like to share. I know we have a student from Cal State Fullerton here. I actually graduated from Cal State Fullerton in 2001, so glad to see the Harvard of the West represented here. But I also just wanted to highlight, we do have young constituents who are interested in government, and I was happy to host alongside our Chief Communications Officer Mike Lister, a young woman who's earning her Girl Scout badge in government. So she did interview me, and it was a very tough interview, I have to say, but it was nice to be able to bring her into City Hall and share the work that we're doing on behalf of the residents in our city. She was also very impressed to walk the wall of mayors and see that we have our first female mayor in, 150 years, 167 years. So it was nice to be able to bring this Girl Scout back here, up to the 7th floor to visit and chat about that. So wanted to share that. The same week, I have to thank staff for this. We hosted approximately 20 Girl Scouts who are from Troop 3777. I believe they are from either District 1 or District 2, the majority of these students, but they reached out. They were working on their democracy badge. So in order to make it a really educational, but something that they would remember experience, we were able to bring in key city departments to come and talk to our students. And that included Duku Lee from Public Utilities. We also had Anaheim Sporn from Community Services, our amazing city clerk, Teresa Bass. We had a police officer, Laura Lomeli, who is also a detective. And we had our fire chief from, or Pat Russell, our fire chief. So it was a really great experience for these students, and they were actually pretty engaged in the process. So I want to thank staff who participated in making this a special opportunity for these kids and on a Friday evening. So thank you guys. I'm also happy to report that we had a groundbreaking that the city was invited to. As I've mentioned before, we have different governing bodies for our school districts. Anaheim Elementary is, this is Patrick Henry Elementary, which is in my district. My council colleague, Kristen Moss, and our city manager were also in attendance to just really we were excited to see that the school is going to be rebuilt. The kids have been transferred to a different location for the next 3 years, but when it is completed, they will have a state-of-the-art facility, which the students in Anaheim deserve. A bond was passed, and it is now being put to work. So I just wanted to highlight the good work that's going on in our city and to thank our school board members, because this is a school board issue, not necessarily a city issue, but as different governing bodies, we work together, and the city, as you know, is the one who does have to do planning permits and public works and public utilities to make sure that their project moves forward. So hopefully, I'm gonna manifest it. It gets done in 2 years and not 3. And under budget. And within budget, yes. So many of us have had our open houses. So my district hosted the community open house. Thank you to city staff. It is a new format, and I did get some mixed reviews, but for the most part, many people were very excited about the new open house format, where you can go and visit different booths, which were all staffed by city employees who are experts in their area. We had police, fire present. Some of the hot topics in District 3 are coyote issues. We also have firework concerns. We also have public safety, clean parks, a lot of, a very active community with different pockets of issues that occur. So it was really nice to be able to have this open forum so that everybody could just go to the different booths and get answers to some of the questions that they had. So thank you to city staff for this new format and to our mayor for being there. It was a great opportunity for us all to have tables there just to have our staff help us out fielding questions. And then tonight is the Ducks opener, but I also just wanted to thank the Ducks for coming into my district. They were at the Packing House, I think last week or the week before, and it was a really fun experience to be able to see a lot of people here just supporting our local hockey team. So we are very lucky to have not only a baseball team, but a hockey team and so many other tourist amenities here in Anaheim. I also wanted to thank our community services for hosting Fun on Wheels in one of our more challenged areas in my district. Pauline Street does have a significant amount of gang activity. We actually had a drive-by shooting there the week before we had this event on a Thursday. So I also would like to thank Anaheim PD because they did host a hot dog giveaway to the kids. We had a lot of kids come out. Neutral Ground was also there since we do have a lot of gang activity. And for those of you who don't know what Neutral Grounds do, they are a nonprofit and they do gang intervention and prevention. So we have them in many of our impacted schools, including Anaheim High School and Sycamore. So it was nice to be able to talk to families and just let them know the resources that we have here in our city. And then almost, I think this is the second to last. Like my council colleague mentioned, yesterday was Indigenous Peoples Day. And I just wanted to highlight, in recognition of Indigenous Peoples Day, we were able to join many of the people from the community at Anaheim Coves alongside the woman in this picture. Her name is Virginia Carmelo. She's a third-generation Orange County resident. We also were joined by Sandone Goad, who is the tribal council chairwoman for the Tongva Nation. And many other people there. We gathered to honor this community, but I have to just highlight that here in Anaheim, we recognize this land rests on the ancestral homelands of the Tongva people, the original caretakers of this region long before modern cities were established. So we are proud to be able to recognize, and I think this was the 6th annual Indigenous Peoples Day. So I was grateful to be able to have the time in my day to join. And we had an interesting sighting. There was a bald eagle that actually flew over right at the time, which I've never seen anything like that outside of a zoo. So it was pretty special. And then last but not least, I just want to highlight, I'm all about women in leadership, and Gabby Sutter is, I want to say congratulations to Gabby. She is celebrating 13 years with the Anaheim Police Association as the executive director. Many of us know the president, but we know she's doing all the hard work. So Gabby is doing the heavy lifting and has really helped move that police association forward. They represent 400 plus men and women who are sworn officers in our city. And I just wanted to recognize Gabby for her efforts. And that concludes my council comments.
Thank you, Council Member. I wanted to share with the council and with the community some recent official travel that I took representing Anaheim. On September 26th, I joined with mayors from across the country at the U.S. Conference of Mayors Fall Leadership Meeting in Oklahoma City, where we signed the Oklahoma City Declaration condemning political violence and encouraging civil discourse. We did so at the Oklahoma City National Memorial and Museum, which sits on the site of the deadliest act of domestic political violence in living memory over 30 years ago. The U.S. Conference of Mayors is a nonpartisan group of mayors from across the country, and I'm proud to serve as their vice chair for Tourism, Arts, Parks, Entertainment, and Sports Committee. It is an important group that I follow in a long line of my predecessors as mayors of being involved in with the U.S. Conference of Mayors. And earlier this month, I joined Visit Anaheim for an official visit to Mexico City and Guadalajara. This visit came at an important time and allowed me to share with our friends in Mexico that Anaheim, that they know, that they love, is a great place, and it is a great time to visit. For the first time in our city, since we've been tracking, visitors from Mexico make up the largest group of international visitors to the resort districts, and their numbers have remained strong despite the dip in tourism to Anaheim and California and the nation in general. So obviously we want to keep that way, be a welcoming city to our neighbors across the border. The visit also allowed me the opportunity to meet my counterpart in Guadalajara, Mexico, Mayor Veronica Delgadillo, who also serves as the first female mayor of Guadalajara. So we talked about our cities and formalized our sister city relationship between Anaheim and Guadalajara, making it our first sister city in Mexico, something that I look forward to exploring with my council colleagues as well as the community. So thank you very much for allowing me to share that. Excuse me. So now it's time for the city manager's update. Mr. City Manager, do you have anything to report?
A few quick items. Thank you, Mayor, members of the council, and public. I wanted to provide a general update on Angel Stadium of Anaheim. We know the stadium is always a matter of high public interest. And I want to again share with the public there is no long-term discussions taking place now, and none are imminent. As such, this is a general monthly update as requested by council. We are still in the second phase of the ongoing stadium assessment. Engineering consultants are now about 2/3 of the way through testing concrete and metal columns in our stadium. Testing will continue throughout the off-season, working around off-season events. Once the testing is complete, the findings will be reviewed and analyzed as standard procedure. The last step in the assessment will be to hire an engineering firm for a final assessment based on the testing that is being done now. The finalized assessment is expected mid-2026. As has been mentioned this evening, we do have a new format for our community district open houses. We have completed 3 of them, but there are 3 remaining. I encourage the public to engage with our meetings that will take place in District 5 and 6 this week, and then we will wrap up our new district community meetings with D2 next week. Residents can drop in anytime from 5 to 7 p.m. As shown on the screen here in the open house format. You can also find this information at anaheim.net and on our social media platforms. And finally, we have a few fan favorite events coming up for this Halloween season. Join us for a night of community and culture as we celebrate a cherished Mexican tradition to honor and remember loved ones who have passed. Our annual Dia de los Muertos event will be next Friday, October 24th, from 5 to 9 p.m. at Center Greens Park, right here next to City Hall. Come see the colorful altars, flowers, and live performances that celebrate life, memory, and culture. The next day, on Saturday, October 25th, we'll hold our annual Fall Festival and Halloween Parade with, of course, the fan favorite City Manager's Office float. This year, the festival will take place in a new location at Center Greens from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. The parade will start at 7 p.m. at City Hall, traveling down Center Street, Harbor Boulevard, and Broadway before it ends at Manchester. We know our community loves these events and are looking forward to another great year of both. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, City Manager. We will now recess the City Council to address the Anaheim Housing Authority agenda. There are 2 items on the consent calendar. Is there a motion?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote.
The vote is 7 ayes, no nays. Motion carries.
Without objection, we'll adjourn the Housing Authority and reconvene the City Council to address the City Council consent calendar. Items 3 through 11 are before us. Are there any members of the council who wish to remove an item for further discussion? Councilmember Leon.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just disclosing out of an abundance of caution a potential remote interest as it pertains to item 10 due to my part-time employment with the federal government, and want to note a recusal on that item for the record, and if it is pulled, I'll go ahead and leave the dais. And if there are no other items, I will move the consent calendar.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Please vote. With a recusal on item number 10 by Councilmember Leon.
The vote is 7 ayes, no nays, with the abstention by Councilmember Leon on item number 10.
Abstention or recusal?
Recusal.
Okay, thank you. Next are the appointments to the Housing and Community Development Commission. The first is District 4 appointment. Councilmember Kurtz, do you have an appointment?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I do. Excuse me. I would like to appoint Mark Flores to the commission.
Thank you. Mark Flores, please vote. Next.
And the vote is 7 ayes, no nays. The appointment moves forward.
Next are 2 at-large tenant appointments. Are there any nominations? Councilmember Bayless, did you have a nomination?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Brian Stephenson for the term ending December 31, 2028.
Brian with a B?
Yes.
Brian Stephenson. Any objections? If not, please vote.
And the vote is 7 ayes, no nays. Appointment moves forward.
Are there any other nominations for the other tenant at-large position? Seeing none, I would just ask the community, if you know someone that is an active tenant in the community, if they could please go to our website and have them fill out an application. On the website, we are looking for an at-large appointment, which means you can live in any of the 6 districts in the city of Anaheim. We're always looking to get new people involved, but they must be a non-owning tenant for that particular position. So next is our report on closed session. Mr. City Attorney.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As to nothing to report as to items 1, 2, and 4. As to item 3, council approved on a vote of 6 to nothing. Rubalcaba not present, to join Long Beach in filing an amicus brief in support of a Ninth Circuit rehearing en banc in the case of Garcia versus County of Alameda in an effort to support ordinances making it unlawful to be a spectator at illegal street racing. There's no further reports.
Thank you. Now is the time for any non-agenda public comment, but I believe we do not have any. Is that correct, Clerk?
That's correct, Mayor.
Thank you. Are there any other agenda-setting items that council would like to put on a future agenda? Councilmember Maz.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would like to agendize for all council to recognize via proclamation Judy Koyama. She is the founding Girl Scout leader of the Orange County Buddhist Church troop on the occasion of its 40th anniversary. I would like to also recognize Extra Mile Day. That's November 1st. It's a day to recognize people and organizations in Anaheim who are creating positive change through their extra mile efforts in volunteerism and service. It has been celebrated here in Anaheim for 13 years.
Thank you. Councilmember Leon?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to bring in the Anaheim High School football team for recognition from the City Council. Thank you.
Did that sting a little? With no other business before the council, we stand adjourned until October 28th, 2025. Thank you so much.